Hello, not long ago was Black Friday and Cyber Monday followed after that, and I took advantage of a few offers that were from the shops that you can find online. One of them was Ryanteck, and I bought a couple of items that I'm quite excited to have a look at. These are the two bags in which the items are, and let's move on to the table and see what's inside and what can we do with those. And these are the two bags. One is the Raspberry Pi motor controller board kit, which is designed and produced directly from Ryanteck. And these are the thing is a charger adapter, which should tell you all about what's happening off your USB port in terms of power consumption, voltage, so that you can keep an eye on what the Raspberry Pi will draw with on its own or with any of the shields that you plug onto it, including the motor control board kit. So let's open up the bag. And this is what you get. You get the PCB, which bears the initial of the Ryanteck shop, designed in the UK, has everything to do with the Raspberry Pi lately. Really nice PCB, really nicely made, and it says it is done between Ryanteck and Ryanteck. This is a 26 way header that will go in here to attach the Raspberry Pi. This is the chip that will drive the motors. Afraid I won't be able to focus on it too well. Let's see. Yes. That's the socket for the chip, terminal, screws, and headers, which will go in here. There is a really nice guide made from Ryanteck on their website, and we'll have a look at it immediately after this, so that we can have a feeling of what we need to do and how we're going to connect it later on onto the Raspberry Pi. This other item is the charger adapter. There it is. It's got a four digit display, and it's got obviously the in and out in order to do the measurements of your consumption. It says here it is rated between 3.5 and 7 volts, and it goes from 0 to 3 amperes. This is Ryan's website. Really pleasant website that is easy to navigate. The section we're interested in is obviously on the Raspberry Pi, and we're going to go under add-ons. And amongst many other things which I'm really curious to explore at one point, we find the Raspberry Pi motor controller board, which is here. There you get a bit more description of what the board is about. But most importantly, you get an assembly guide of a link we can follow, and we get onto Ryan's wiki, which tells us step by step with really nicely made pictures how to go through the welding, the soldering of the components, down to the installation of it onto the Raspberry Pi. and we're going to try and see a bit of code so that we can test the board with a couple of motors that I'm going to attach to it. The other thing we are obviously interested in is the charge adapter that we can find under prototyping tools. And at the bottom we can find that it's even on sale. So it's really a great bargain, worthwhile buying, absolutely useful piece of kit. I love the background of these pictures with this wooden table, really nice, really maker style, really love it. And for those of you who are wondering, the SN754410 is a quadruple half-H driver chip, which is just a replacement for an older L293 or L293D chip. The pinout is essentially the same, so it's a one-to-one replacement for the L293. Let's see them side by side, and there you have it. The pinout is absolutely the same. It's just a more modern version and a better performing version of the same chip, so it was a good choice to adopt this one in favor of the L293. One of the points that Ryan makes it clear is that you will be able to drive your motors to 12 volts 0.5 amperes as he specifies on his website. This is not up to the limitation of the chip itself, but it is more to do with the design of Ryan's board. If you notice from the datasheet, pin 4, 5, 12 and 13 are not just for ground but also for heatsink dissipation. And in order to make so that you would be able to use this chip to its maximum specs, you would have needed to add to the PCB a bit more complexity and probably a bit more items, which would have increased the complexity of the board. So I would imagine that Ryan had made a choice to keep the board as simple as possible, and to all matters and purposes, those specs that he specified are going to be most probably appropriate for any projects you will endeavor in building on your own. So a very small limitation after all with this type of design of PCB.